Water. Welcome back, Task Force, to another exciting episode of Case Files. Today, you might be wondering, it's a little dim, a little red.
A little harsh on the eyes.
A little harsh on the eyes.
This is the lighting that Cody gave.
You are peaking wildly.
She said it really
God, it makes me look extra
brings out my
tired.
skin.
It does. I am your resident mystery enthusiast, Trevor Collins. Joining me to be my experiment guinea pig is Alfredo Diaz. Today, Fredo, we are doing what is known as the Ganzfeld Experiment.
I'm a little piggy.
You're my little piggy. The Ganzfeld Experiment is quite simply a kind of sensory deprivation experiment that the idea is that you can send people images, send people signals, send people your thoughts in this kind of environment. The whole idea is, as you have found, there are half ping pong balls, white ping pong balls, no logo on them, in a very red environment. The idea on that is that you put these over your eyes and it creates a very uniform color on your eyes, so that way you kind of kill as many inputs as possible. We're also gonna put headphones on you. That will be white noise. So that way we neutralize as much as possible. Then we'll put you on this nice cozy couch that's right over here. And you can tell me about all your thoughts and feelings, but then otherwise, you will then be kind of in your void, like Eleven in Stranger Things.
Oh, that makes more sense. Because
Yeah.
I was thinking this either works or it activates my mutant genome.
And either way, it works, right? Because that's what we're all about here, is trying to activate that X gene. On top of that, I have a handful of pictures that Fredo has not seen, and I'm going to try to send them to him. It is said now, okay, let's break it down. This is a 1930s coined experiment by a psychologist in Germany, and it has been considered to be pseudoscience. There's not hard evidence that shows that this is a repeatable experiment, but there have been times that this has shown some interesting positives.
Ooh.
So I don't know. The idea here is that you and I are going to get practical, tangible with
Look.
it. We're going to see what happens.
Not everyone is gifted with extraordinary abilities, okay? Not everyone is the main character, all right? I'm sorry. So if it works sometimes, those are the chosen ones.
Right. And we might be chosen. Really what I want to do here is test his gut check. So on the podcast often, it seems like he's able to read ahead on what's going to happen because he has either amazing intuition or he can just read minds. Which one's more likely?
This is the latter.
Right, exactly. So let's wake up that genome. On top of that, there's a few other things I want to talk about. Normally, this is an experiment that's run for about 30 minutes. And by then you've kind of like neutralized all of because when you're in a sensory deprivation environment, your brain starts to fire off, your neurons are still going. And so it starts to interpret the lack of input as images. And so after a few minutes, you should start to see colors and waves and things of that nature.
Whoa.
And it's also said that the Ganzfeld test, in the case that people know each other, it tends to be more effective. And I'd like to say that after almost 4 years of the podcast that we might know each other.
Has it been 4 years?
Well, no, I'm rounding up. I just wanted to scare you a little bit. But yes, it's
Oh my God.
getting long in the tooth.
That was terrifying.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a whole lot of things going on here with the brain. It increases your neural noise. The visual cortex can interpret that noise as hallucinations, but the same thing can happen with your ears because you're gonna have either pink or white noise kind of just in your ears the whole time. So you won't be able to.
What the hell is pink noise?
It's the same as brown noise. It's the same as green noise. They're all just varying tones of.
Which one makes you poop?
This one. Just kidding. That was the lactose I had this morning.
It's a biohazard.
It is. So with that said, with the groundwork laid, we're gonna put you over on the nice soft couch. I'm going to try to send you an image that I pick in the moment.
Okay.
You're not gonna be able to hear me, but I want you to just kind of call out what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you're hearing, and I'll kind of react accordingly. And then at the end, we're gonna react to how it all went down. I'm gonna show you the image, and then we're gonna swap seats.
Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna send you some images.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, let's get you over on that couch. Let's tape down those ping pong balls with this medical grade tape.
Oh, we're taping them down?
Don't want them blowing away in the breeze. Fredo, how's it looking? How's it feeling?
It looks really red.
Yo, he looks ridiculous. That's exactly what it looks like though when you Google images, is it? Wow, he's already feeling something. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but let me know when to crank up this white noise.
Okay, can you see anything but just a sphere of red?
Just a sphere of red.
Okay, cool. It's like the Vegas sphere, but on your eyes.
Yep.
I'm now going to look through my photos.
I'm gonna crank this white noise up.
You go ahead and crank it up, baby. Okay. Jillian provided, can you hear me? Fredo, can you hear me? You won the lottery. Okay, it's good. I've got a bunch of images here now, but I don't need to search through them all that much because I think I'm gonna go with shebang. And you know why. If you don't, check out last season. The defense. Okay, Alfredo, I'm sending you images.
So far, I see nothing. I hear white noise. I feel nothing. Trying to relax, trying to empty my head. That's the hard part, is emptying my head.
Why is he yelling?
Kind of like laying here on set, trying to be with an empty head.
He looks like he brought a couch to the upside down. Okay, I'm trying to really visualize this image in my mind and send him the details.
Kind of feels like my vision is getting a little blurry. If anything, it just feels like my vision's narrower, even more so than before when we started.
I'm gonna take some notes. This is great stuff.
I used to be able to like see kind of sharply the tape lines over the ping pong balls, but now it's just all kind of blended together.
Maybe some underwater vision? It is a little blurry up here, a little out of focus. So it's been a few minutes now. This is usually when some visual hallucinations start kicking in. So I'm just gonna continue to envision this image and keep sending it to him.
Let's see the stars. They're calling out to me. Remember who you are. Just kidding. I don't see the stars. That'd be cool though. Man, I bet it's difficult to like, I don't know, especially in this day and age when there's so much consumption, high consumption of content, short form content too.
He's distracting himself.
I'm realizing it's more difficult for me to turn my brain off.
Those 1930s Germans did not have TikTok. I'll be very curious to see how receptive he is to images, because whenever we've done ghost investigations, he's not as susceptible to seeing things as much or hearing things in the ear.
All right, I'm trying military tactic in order to go to sleep faster. I'm relaxing different parts of my body as I work my way up to relaxing my brain. I feel like this is what Mars would look like.
I don't think this man's gonna see
Send me those images.
Sending.
Feed them to me.
You know what? I'm gonna start sending all these images, and maybe he's just not. Maybe he's got a natural defense in the brain for this one.
Thinking about a coin for some reason.
Coin? Hold on now. Now we got some images.
Thinking about a spaceship.
You know, there could be a spaceship exactly shaped like a catfish. And
Thinking about Christian riding that spaceship. But then the spaceship got small. Kind of like Magic School Bus.
How small? How small? I need to know.
Surely you're not trying to send me an image of tiny Christian in a tiny spaceship.
We're in the throes of hallucination, as you can see. Let me get back to my notes here, because it says, usually with a pitch black room, red is very popular for the Ganzfeld, but in a pitch black room, the eyes start to see colors and geometric shapes, usually around 5 to 7 minutes, and that's right where we're at right now. Yeah, no, that's awesome. So Jillian's off camera kind of like reacting to what's going on, and she's telling me too that this is often what happens when people are in the Arctic and it's snowing and the ground is snowy and the sky is bright and like everything's kind of uniform and you're out there hiking. This can also happen. Hence a lot of hallucinations in the Antarctic and sometimes in the Himalayas. There's a lot of stories around that kind of stuff.
Is it leprechauns?
The closest he's gotten so far.
Is it a football game brought to you by the Kia Summer Sales event and Doritos Locos Tacos?
Now that is a detailed image. I gotta be honest, I was thinking about football a little bit. I might have let that one slip to him. That was my fault.
Chia pet.
Now hold on.
Why am I thinking about a chia pet?
I want him to go deeper on one of these.
And now, my imitation of a panther.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Still don't see anything different.
Everyone, start broadcasting this image. Just think about this. Think about only this.
It's making me comfy as hell right now.
Alfredo!
Someone saying something?
Yeah, come on. Come on out. Come on out of that dark place.
I hear muffling and banging.
Jillian, you want to prod this man awake?
Hello? Oh.
It comes off, he's got no eyelashes.
That's why I was like, oh.
Whoa.
How are your eyes?
Fine.
Okay. So we've got your notes from what you saw or thought you saw.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over these before we then give you the image. You bounced around quite a bit.
It did.
anything-
I realize it's really hard to clear your head.
I mean, you make a good point though, with social media and all that. Now, did any emotion come to the table? Did any specific vision stick with you throughout that time?
No, I just kept jumping between different thoughts. No emotion stuck. Oh, relaxed.
Relaxed is interesting.
I was very relaxed.
We might have a breakthrough here.
I was very relaxed. I was very comfy. Mm-hmm. That's a great way to go to sleep, by the way. Just going to sleep.
Did you feel like you were orbiting any specific topics?
No.
Okay.
Think of.
So we'll go through it. So in the early minutes, you said that your vision started to get blurry.
Yeah.
It was kind of probably unfocusing because you just had this uniform field of red.
Mm-hmm.
You said you were then relaxing your brain, which set the stage for then around 5 to 7 minutes in, which is usually when people start to see shapes and motion and color. You started to see things. You were talking about a coin,
Yeah.
a round object, I imagine. Was it
Yeah.
the tail side or the head side?
It was kind of straight down the middle, to be honest.
So just the flat side? You saw a spaceship,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah,
Christian
like-
riding it,
I put Christian in it.
magic school bus style.
Yeah.
A meat stick, leprechauns,
Yeah.
and then a chia pet. And
Yeah.
then what was interesting is you started going on about Panther and Snoop Dogg, which I picked up as maybe you're talking about cats and dogs
Oh.
and pets.
Whoa.
You know, I'm trying to Venn diagram this madness and find what's in the middle of all these eccentric circles. Now, do you have a guess as to the image I was sending you, even if you don't feel confident in what that would be?
No.
Okay.
I have no clue whatsoever.
That's fine. The image I sent you was that of your famed nemesis,
No. It was a
Catfish.
catfish.
catfish looking right down the barrel, too.
Wait, I was talking about panthers.
You were talking about panthers. That was a cat of some kind.
It's a cat of some kind.
I was sending you so hard that these giant catfish lips.
Oh.
I was trying real bad to get you to say something about these lips. But what's interesting, and this could be me reading between the lines, but when I heard coin, I was like, is it a round object with a face on it?
Oh,
That's
because
kind of what we're looking at, you know, with this catfish image. And then a spaceship, you know, your traditional shape is that it's kind of fish-like.
Well, then we have
got
like
the fins and stuff.
Catfish coin.
We did sell an owl and catfish coin
Yeah.
in store.roosterteeth.com. And then the butterfly imagery, again, I could be reaching for the stars here, but like the kind of whiskers could be in that kind of like butterfly effect.
Yeah, I could see
shape.
that.
And then it's also, I would say, for a bear, this is quite the meat stick. I don't know. I think, you know, I think I am reaching.
I feel like
Inconclusive here.
it might just be me, but it just feels like it's getting harder and harder for like people nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Like how are you gonna shut your brain off? You know, in a world that's constantly feeding your different what is it? Senses.
Yeah, those old things.
You know, it's just like you're seeing so many things, you're hearing so many things all the time, and like content is getting tighter and tighter. Where it's just like, boom, 3 seconds of this here, 3 seconds of this here. It's all different stuff.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was very hard to just kind of like shut my brain off. My brain just kept thinking about random stuff.
I mean, I'm sure that's what mine's gonna do.
Oh, 100%.
But you're right, it's definitely hard to shut your brain off and try to allow your brain to just be completely blank and then let your neurons just kind of fire off. But that then brings us to the crux of the issue. Again, this is not a classically repeatable experiment.
Yeah.
There are some times where it seems to work really well, and then there are other times where it just is not repeatable, doesn't seem to work at all. And so it's completely inconclusive. In fact, traditional science would call this pseudoscience, to be totally above board. So I would say with our results, there's some intrigue there. There's like some overlap where we could be like, oh, you know, maybe stretched it a little bit. But I would say that this would be a little bit more inconclusive, especially when you look at it scientifically. If you're looking at, you know, your neurons firing off, trying to elicit hallucinations, then you're starting to roll the dice on, do those hallucinations kind of happen to coincide with what the person sending you an image is seeing. All right, thank you so much for joining us, Task Force. We'll see you next week on the bonus episode. Otherwise, for our Task Force members over on YouTube, we will see you in 2 weeks from now for another fantastic episode of Case Files. You got away with it, didn't you? You got away with it.
The government still doesn't know.
Yeah, he's right here. He was seeing things that I was not sending. This is not okay. He's picking up the wrong waves. This is his origin story. He's floating now. He's floating up and away. Okay, well.
Charles!
Before we head out, here's just a few clips from next week's episode as I lay down on the couch and try to receive an image from Alfredo.
Oink, oink, little Trevor. Time to roll around in your dirt.
Are you trying to MK Ultra me? Am I looking at ice?
You want to eat the dirt. You want to wrap yourself in the dirt.
I'm looking at the Eye of Sauron. Final answer.